I became a millionaire in 2025. I've been pursuing financial independence and early retirement, or FIRE, since 2019. And I just wanted to take a look back at everything I accomplished financially in 2025 to really get me to where I am today. So, my biggest money win was that I became a millionaire as a single income, no kids woman. I'm very, very proud of achieving that milestone essentially on my own. I do want to acknowledge that like my parents helped me by giving me the gift of education. My dad has always told us that education is essentially like our inheritance, and that even if he died and left us nothing, at least he would have given us our education and no student loan debt. Giving that gift sooner rather than later to him, that helped us set us up for financial success for our careers and the income that we could provide for ourselves with or without him. So I'm really, really, really grateful for that. And I also lived with my parents for a few years during COVID. Initially, it wasn't supposed to be for that long. And then with everything shut down, it ended up being much longer than it should have been. But it helped me supercharge my savings and investments. Those combined two things, I would say, definitely helped with me becoming a millionaire. But I also attribute it to a lot of hard work that I did myself in choosing my career path, in finding the jobs that I have, and just being smart with money and my savings and investments. My net worth increased $258,984 in 2025. That is up from $199,000 in 2024, which is about a $60,000 increase. And it really honestly was not due to any increase in my income. It was almost all due to just compound growth. For my retirement accounts that I maxed out my 401k. I did a backdoor Roth IRA and an HSA. All of those, I kind of did it on autopilot. 401k and HSA through my company paycheck. And then my backdoor Roth IRA, I set that up. So I think I did it in like 2 or 3 lump sum payments, max that out within the first quarter of 2025. I just like to get all my big retirement account investments out of the way instead of like dollar cost averaging into the market. Any extra spare money I have goes straight into my investments, prioritizing tax advantage retirement accounts. And then for my taxable brokerage, I contributed $36,500, which is less than I contributed in 2024. Again, the compound growth on my investments all came from my earlier investments. My savings rate for 2025 was 52%, relatively low to my 68% in 2024. That's like minus 16%. That's kind of a lot, but that difference has been very intentional, and I've made meaningful progress towards building the life that I actually want to live in this current moment. The biggest lifestyle change expense-wise has been my rent. I moved to San Francisco post-breakup earlier this year, and really that dramatically increased my rent to $2,645 a month for a tiny, about 300 square foot apartment in a really nice neighborhood in San Francisco. So that's a 120% rent increase from what I was paying in Los Angeles. Obviously, it's more expensive to live on your own than it is to have a partner. And that is just the reality of my situation, but I really wanted to prioritize living alone. My biggest expense was $16,286 on one cycle of egg freezing. Unfortunately, my company doesn't cover any of those kinds of benefits, so all of this came directly out of my own pocket, but it did give me the peace of mind because I do know I want to have kids. That's just a non-negotiable. This just gives me the flexibility when I go out dating and trying to find a good partner. I feel like I don't have to rush. I spent a lot of money shopping last year, $2,443 to be exact, $1,595 on thrifted clothes, and $848 on new clothes. I got 207 thrifted items and 30 new items, which is a wild difference. The cost for each item, for the thrifted items, I spent about $771 per item. Obviously meant to say $7.71 instead of $771. In new items, I spent about $28.27 to get those 30 items, which is a crazy almost 4x difference. So much more economical to thrift your clothes. So I did not hit my goal of net zero shopping. I did spend $1,779 that were not covered. I only resold $664. I don't enjoy it, but it's a necessary thing I feel I need to do to clean out my closet and recoup the funds that I'm spending on my shopping habit. Addiction, dare I say addiction. My biggest money mindset shift that I had is I stopped optimizing for fire this year. Ultimately, what I learned about myself is that I want ease right now. I want an easy, soft life over optimizing and agonizing over every single financial expense and the trade offs between retiring a day earlier or not. Honestly, I need to redo my calculation. It used to be 1.5 or $1.6 million to achieve fire before I turned 36. I actually think I am on track to reach that goal. However, I want a bigger life for myself, honestly. And I don't think this is like too much of lifestyle inflation. It's just coming to terms with like not pinching pennies and realizing that like I don't want the life that I'm setting myself up for. And I think that's a really excellent revelation. And I can't wait to apply that a little bit more in practice in 2026. But I think it's just going to be another good year. My goal right now for 2026 is having more fun with my money. So, yeah, maybe that will inspire others. And I just want to wish you all a happy new year. Bye.